Welcome to Plexi View, folks. Today we're diving deep into the mind of a true savage, a guy who embodies what it means to break through your limits, David Goggins. This dude's life story is not your average self-help book, man. It's a raw, gritty, and brutally honest account of overcoming some serious shit. Goggins doesn't sugarcoat anything, and that's what makes his message so powerful. We're about to explore his book, Can't Hurt Me, which is basically a blueprint for conquering your mind and unleashing your inner beast. Buckle up because this is going to be intense. We're going to unpack Goggins' insane journey from a childhood filled with abuse and trauma to becoming a Navy SEAL, an ultra-marathon runner, and a guy who laughs in the face of pain. Goggins' story is all about pushing past your comfort zone, facing your fears, and realizing that you're capable of way more than you think. Let's do this. David Goggins' story is not for the faint of heart. This dude went through hell and back as a kid. His childhood was a relentless series of hardships that would have broken most people. We're talking poverty, brutal racism, and physical abuse from his own father. The environment he grew up in was harsh and unforgiving. Imagine being a young kid, living in constant fear, not knowing when the next blow was going to land. The anxiety and dread were constant companions. It's the kind of stuff that would break most people. The kind of trauma that leaves deep scars, both physically and emotionally. But Goggins, man, he was different. He had this fire inside him, a determination that refused to be extinguished. Instead of letting this trauma crush him, he used it as fuel. He turned his pain into a driving force. He developed this incredible resilience, this inner strength that allowed him to survive. It was like he was building armor around his spirit. It's almost like he was forging himself in fire from a young age. Each hardship was a hammer blow, shaping him into something stronger. You can see how these early experiences shaped him. They were the crucible that formed his unbreakable will. They instilled in him this deep-seated belief that he could overcome any obstacle, no matter how daunting. He learned to face challenges head-on. It's like he looked at the world and said, "You think this is bad? I've been through worse." His past gave him a unique perspective on adversity. Now, I'm not saying you need to experience trauma to become a badass, but Goggins' story is a testament to the power of the human spirit. It shows that even in the darkest of times, there's a flicker of something inside us that wants to survive, that wants to fight back. That flicker can become a flame. It shows that even in the darkest of times, there's a flicker of something inside us that wants to survive, that wants to fight back. And that's what Goggins did. He pushed past every limit, every barrier. He fought back against his circumstances. He broke free from the chains of his past. He refused to be a victim. He chose to rise above. And that, my friends, is where his journey to becoming the Goggins we know today truly began. His transformation is nothing short of extraordinary. So Goggins didn't magically transform into a superhuman overnight. It was a long, grueling process that required immense dedication and perseverance. In his early 20s, he was far from the picture of health and discipline. He was struggling with his weight and lacked any sense of purpose. He was working as an exterminator, overweight and stuck in a rut. His daily routine was monotonous, and he felt trapped in a cycle of mediocrity. He describes himself as lost and directionless. He had no clear goals or ambitions, and his life seemed to be going nowhere. One night, he's watching TV and he sees this documentary about Navy SEAL training. The intensity and discipline of the SEALs captivated him, and it hits him like a ton of bricks. He suddenly realizes that he has been wasting his life and potential. He realizes he's been sleepwalking through life, letting his potential go to waste. This moment of clarity was a turning point for him. Goggins decides right then and there that he's going to become a SEAL. It was a bold decision that would require a complete overhaul of his lifestyle. Talk about a wake-up call. This newfound motivation sparked a fire within him that would drive him to achieve the impossible. He goes from eating junk food and barely exercising to embracing this insane training regimen. His commitment to change was unwavering. He loses over 100 pounds in just 3 months, which is insane, by the way. This physical transformation was nothing short of extraordinary. But it's not just the physical transformation that's remarkable, it's the mental shift. His mindset became laser-focused on achieving his goals. Goggins goes from being this unmotivated dude to someone who embraces challenges head-on. He learned to thrive under pressure and adversity. He pushes himself beyond his limits, proving that we're all capable of so much more than we think. His journey is a testament to human potential. This is where Goggins' philosophy starts to take shape, that idea that we've got to break through our self-imposed limitations. His story inspires us to push past our boundaries and strive for greatness. Let's talk about one of Goggins' most powerful tools for self-improvement, the accountability mirror. Now, this isn't your average bathroom mirror. This is where Goggins gets real with himself. He's all about brutal honesty, no BS. He'd stand in front of this mirror, covered in post-it notes, each one with a goal, a fear, or a weakness written on it. It's like staring your demons right in the face. No more hiding from your shortcomings. The accountability mirror is about taking ownership of your life. It's about acknowledging your weaknesses but not letting them define you. It's about setting high standards for yourself and holding yourself accountable for reaching them. Goggins would use the mirror to visualize his goals, to remind himself of the pain he'd endured, and to fuel his drive to succeed. It's a constant reminder that you're either moving forward or falling behind. This is something we can all do, man. We all have mirrors. It's about confronting yourself, being honest about where you're at, and making a decision to change. Now, this is where Goggins' philosophy gets really interesting. He's all about embracing suffering, not just enduring it. I know, it sounds crazy, right? But hear me out. There's a method to this madness. Goggins believes that pain and discomfort are where we grow the most. He calls it callousing the mind, a mental toughness exercise. Think about it like this. When you lift weights, you're creating tiny tears in your muscles. And it's through that process of breaking down and rebuilding that you get stronger, both physically and mentally. Goggins applies this same principle to the mind, pushing it to its limits. He believes that by putting ourselves through difficult challenges, we grow. By willingly embracing discomfort, we build mental toughness and resilience. We develop this ability to push through pain, to keep going when it gets tough, to overcome adversity, and to come out stronger on the other side, more resilient than before. It's about getting comfortable being uncomfortable, finding growth in the struggle. Now, I'm not saying you need to go out and run 100 miles through Death Valley to prove a point, but the point is, we need to stop being so afraid of discomfort and start embracing it. We need to embrace challenges, face them head-on, push ourselves beyond our limits, and see what we're truly capable of. And realize that our potential for growth is far greater than we think, often lying just beyond our comfort zone. Alright, let's talk about one of Goggins' most famous concepts, the 40% rule. This is where it gets really real. Goggins believes that when our minds are telling us we're done, we're actually only at 40% of our capacity. That's right, 40%. Think about a time when you were working out and you felt completely spent. You were ready to collapse. But then, somehow, you managed to push out a few more reps, right? That's the 40% rule in action. Goggins believes that our minds give up way before our bodies do. And it's in that space, that gap between 40% and our true potential, where the magic happens. That's where we break through limitations, achieve the impossible, and discover what we're truly capable of. This rule isn't just about physical endurance, it applies to everything we do in life. Whether you're hitting a wall in your career, struggling with a personal goal, or just feeling unmotivated, remember the 40% rule. You're stronger than you think. This is where we get into the power of the mind, folks. Goggins is a huge believer in visualization. He believes that by vividly imagining ourselves achieving our goals, we're actually priming our minds and bodies for success. It's like creating a mental blueprint for what we want to achieve. And the more detailed and emotionally charged our visualizations are, the more powerful they become. Goggins used visualization extensively throughout his training. He'd imagine himself completing those grueling SEAL challenges, pushing through the pain, and ultimately succeeding. And you know what? It worked. Visualization is a powerful tool for anyone who wants to achieve great things. It's about training your mind to see possibilities, to believe in yourself, and to stay focused on your goals. Now let's talk about one of Goggins' most important concepts, building a calloused mind. It's like developing mental armor, an impenetrable shield against the challenges life throws our way. Goggins believes that we build this mental toughness through repeated exposure to discomfort. It's like anything else in life, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Think back to that accountability mirror. It's about confronting your weaknesses head-on, not shying away from them. It's about pushing past your comfort zone, embracing the suck, and proving to yourself that you can handle anything. The more we do this, the more calloused our minds become. We develop this inner strength, this resilience that allows us to weather any storm. In a world of instant gratification, Goggins' message of discipline and consistency is more important than ever. He's all about putting in the work, day in and day out, even when you don't feel like it. Goggins believes that true success isn't about luck or talent, it's about showing up and giving it your all, every single day. It's about building positive habits and sticking to them, even when things get tough. It's about delaying gratification, making sacrifices, and staying committed to your goals, even when you're not seeing immediate results. Because real change, lasting change, takes time and effort. Fear, man, it's the ultimate dream killer. It keeps us stuck in our comfort zones, prevents us from pursuing our passions, and keeps us from reaching our full potential. But Goggins, he's all about conquering fear. He believes that fear is a liar, that it often disguises itself as something much bigger and scarier than it actually is, and the only way to overcome fear is to confront it head-on. Goggins encourages us to take calculated risks, to step outside of our comfort zones, and to prove to ourselves that we're capable of handling whatever life throws our way. Goggins' message is all about constantly striving, constantly seeking to improve, and never settling for mediocrity. It's about embracing the journey of self-discovery, pushing past our limits, and realizing that we're capable of achieving far more than we ever thought possible. He reminds us that life is a marathon, not a sprint, and it's the challenges we overcome, the lessons we learn, and the growth we experience along the way that truly matter. Goggins' story, man. It's a powerful reminder that we are all capable of incredible things. He's not saying it's going to be easy. In fact, he guarantees it's going to be hard. But that's the point, isn't it? We're not here to coast through life, to play it safe and stay comfortable. We're here to push ourselves, to embrace challenges, and to discover what we're truly made of. So get out there, embrace the suck, and unleash your inner beast.